This is a training video looking at more detail about how the codes work with the Cloud Cashbook. So if you take the Cloud Cashbook, which you have in front of us, which is not one for margin trading and not one for CIS, then there are buttons that help, like Help Me, for instance. And if you hold the cursor above things, you will get a pop-up explaining what they are. And you can see a list of codes. And it's the codes that are the clever thing that tell the system how to handle VAT and also self-assessment, so that the right information is available to report to HMRC. So here we have a list of codes, and at the end of the list of codes we have them sorted by the self-employment, self-assessment categories. It also does AIA and various other self-assessment calculations, but here we're looking particularly at the self-assessment categories, and it understands for each record what to do about VAT and what to do about self-assessment. And you've got the Cashbook, which we click on this button to get the Cashbook. We've got the VAT Summary, we click on this button to get the VAT Summary. And in fact, there's bits you can't see off the screen because I'm keeping it at a size that is easily read on Excel, on YouTube rather. So let's take a for instance. If we say the 1st of July 2019, invoice to Fred Smith, and we will say it was an invoice for £1,200 and it was income at the rate of 20% VAT. So the system knows that that is 20% VAT, so it's worked out the VAT for us. And on the VAT summary now we have £1,000 of sales and £200 worth of VAT. Now similarly, we can go back to the Cashbook and we can have, we'll stop the pop-up, alright, we can say on the 2nd of July we had supplies from warehouse, supplies services into stock or something like that, and we paid £600 and this was stock. So and what we then know is that the VAT on that is 100, and if we look at the VAT summary, the income is 1,000, the expenditure box 7 is 500, then the net VAT is 100. Now if we then look on the, not on the VAT summary lower down, we happen to have self-assessment stuff. We can see income there and stock, box 17 for stock. Alright, now for instance we might sort of, let's take on the 2nd of July, we might buy biscuits for staff, and we'll buy it out of cash, petty cash, and we'll spend £3 and we'll make them chocolate biscuits. Now note on the code here I typed CH and it comes up with the things for chocolate biscuits, so we'll do that again. CH, chocolate biscuits. Chocolate biscuits have VAT on them, and because we've done this out of petty cash, in fact it keeps a separate, as you can see this colour here, it's a separate running total, so the balance is the running total in the bank, and this coloured balance for cash is the running total for petty cash. And on the 2nd of July as well, we'll get some fuel from Tesco's, and we'll buy that in cash as well, and that could say be £60, and we'll type fuel and it's £10 VAT. And now if we look at the VAT summary, and you can see it's running the petty cash balance there minus 63, obviously we should have started with some money in there, and the VAT summary now has kept track of all of those figures, and the summary for the use of the biscuits and the fuel and everything for self-assessment is done there. Now it could be that we say, for instance, that actually the fuel was not all for business purposes. So if we hover the cursor over fuel, we get up this transaction override, and we can say the revenue rate for fuel in fact was only 50%. And then what it does is, when it's analysing the amount of VAT that's allowable for the VAT return, it reduces it by 50%. Now let's see if we can get that on the screen here. You can see it's £2.50, let's see, it's £25 and £5 rather than being £50 and £10. And on the VAT summary, the same figures apply. Now, there are lots of other things that can be done with the codes, and also managing the cash here. Now, if you are on flat rate VAT, you can specify which flat rate VAT you're on, and then it will calculate the VAT according to that flat rate by using income F. So that explains quite a bit more about how all the codes work. Obviously, producing the VAT return then is just clicking on VAT return at the end of the quarter, and you can submit it off to the VAT office. You need to put in your VAT number, and you need to put the period end date in, but essentially that is it. Thank you for watching.